Welcome back. We're still working on our clay dragon. If you are ready to work on making a leg, I'm making a second video because we, in the last video, learned about how to make arms that were appropriately sized to our body. We're going to do very similar steps for the leg. Now the leg should probably be a little bit thicker, especially if the dragon's going to be standing up. I think my dragon's going to be in the act of flying, so it won't really be able to stand, but my legs still need to be appropriately sized. They need to be nice and big. So I've got a good amount of clay right here. It's about double the amount that I had for each arm. I'm going to follow the same steps and start to kind of pinch and squeeze this clay for the leg into kind of a cylinder shape, leaving the thickest part of the leg at the top where it's going to attach to the body. Again, like I said for the arms, you want the thickest part of the arm or the leg to be at the top where it's going to stick onto the body. That's just simple anatomy, like anybody, your human body or any dragon's body or a regular lizard's body. That's where the muscle is that connects to the rest of the body. But if you want to have a bend in it for a knee, it's going to bend the opposite way. Your elbow bends in, your knee bends back. So your elbow bends forward, your knees bend back. And the dragon foot is usually kind of an S shape. So the leg, the thigh muscle, the lower leg, and then the foot comes out of the lower leg. And if it's too thick or not thick enough, you can kind of readjust your leg. As I bend this clay, I can see it's already starting to dry out a bit. It's starting to crack on me. So I'm going to smooth those cracks away so I don't have to do that later. And when you make a bend, you don't want to bend it so that it's real thin and brittle right there, because you want this leg, the lower leg especially, if you're going to score, slip, stick, and smooth it onto your dragon's body, you want it to stay attached. You don't want the foot to break off because you pinched the ankle out to be too thin, or the knee to break off if you made the knee too skinny. So these kinds of things you need to keep in mind when you're forming each part for the dragon. Now that I've got the leg bent in a knee, this is where it's going to attach, so I can see, hey, that looks pretty darn good. Now I can take the foot, this little part of the leg, I want a foot that's nice and wide. I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the claws on the hands. I'm going to separate the toes of the dragon's foot with a blade. You can actually even use a scoring tool. You're just kind of pushing down and slicing that clay into separate pieces. Got a big claw on the outside that I'm going to use my fingers to pinch and shape into a pointed claw. Same thing here in the middle. I'm going to pinch it, shape it so that it's more like a claw. And again, being very careful not to make that toe accidentally want to pop off later. Keep it thick, but not too thick. Now, I want my dragon, as you can kind of see, to have a little bit of back claw on the back of its foot. So I can do that just simply by grabbing some of that clay and pinching it. Even though this clay is kind of dry and starting to crack on me, I can still work with it. It's not too dry yet. And if I've got that back claw done, this leg is ready to score, slip, stick, and smooth onto the body. Now that I've shown you how to do arms and a leg, I'll now move on to another video where we learn how to attach the two things. All right.